Josh crosses is something that I'm relatively comfortable with, although there's a lot of people who aren't. There's obviously like 5 different methods to shoot it with, and regarding the distance you shoot it from, a different method may apply. And I'm interested to hear your thoughts and then your thoughts on my moves.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's probably, you say about 5 different techniques, there's probably 105 different techniques. The technique, I think, is ultimately, it's a personal preference.
Okay.
For me personally, massive fan of, again, coming off the back of the target to get that bit of timing and get that consistency more than anything. So it is personal preference, and I wouldn't say,
when you say coming off the back of a target, we're talking like a pull away, modified pull away, somewhere between pull away and swing through.
Yeah, I mean, I always just, I'm aware of the gap I want to go from behind. I don't want to end up with a 20, 30 foot gap behind the target and then have to make all that time up in that space up to then be able to get in front. So it's definitely sort of inserting the gun somewhere behind, kind of not really bothered, as long as it's somewhere relative to the bird and the bird's beating me, then I can make the move from there. And that's how we're going to get timing. And I think it is, for me, it's the safest way, because you can be most consistent, because you've always got the speed of the bird and you've always got the line of it.
So we've walked up the bank, we're 25, 30 yards from this crosser. How about I shoot it in different ways?
Yep.
And you can kind of give me a breakdown?
Yeah.
About what you think suits me best from your perspective.
Yeah, and we can have a look at it and see, you know, which, again, you feel most comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, you'll break them probably, whichever way we try, you'll break the target. But again, it's what feels most repeatable and feels most consistent for you to do. You've got to remember, in English sporting, we come to a station, we've got 4 or 5 pairs, we've got to make that move 4 or 5 times, right? It's not the fact of just killing a single target. So we've got to find a way that's A, works and you feel comfortable to shoot, but B, also you can become consistent with. Top right hand corner there, right to left, stand across, a nice bit of belly.
Boom. Bang. Right, 2 singles, as I would just naturally.
Yeah, just shoot them normally.
I mean, it felt lazy, but it broke nice, felt confident.
And you said it felt lazy. Why did it feel lazy?
I think I started the gun a little too far back, but inherently the move worked and felt good, but it just felt like I could trim that up a bit.
And do you feel, in terms of where you inserted the gun to the bird, where do you feel you inserted the gun?
When I started the move?
Yeah.
Oh, a long way behind.
You feel
like 15 feet, and I felt like I was dragging through. But given that target isn't particularly fast, it's some distance, but it's not far, it didn't feel like I had to rush.
So it'll be interesting to see back on that cam, because by the time your gun hits your face, you're more or less on the target.
Interesting. So the gun and my eyes are thinking different things.
Correct. And this is where I think a lot of people would get confused with the whole technique thing of swing through, pull away, maintain, whatever.
Your perception and reality are different.
Correct. And that's all stemming from your hold point. Yeah. So like exactly what we witnessed there, your hold point's quite far back. So you perceive as the gun being a long way behind the target to start off with. Actually, by the time the gun gets to your face and hits the bird, you're pretty much probably mounting on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the timing of the mount which is important, and the timing of where that's going to end up in relation to the bird when the gun hits your face.
And this is all just about your perception of reality, but understanding how that actually links with the reality of the move.
Yeah. So let's go back into that again. We're going to just tweak a couple of bits just to make it a little bit more, hopefully more consistent, more controlled and more repeatable for you.
Potentially, I'd like to just shoot it, maintain and pull away a couple of different methods and see how that affects.
Yeah, I mean, let's go into swing through first, and then we can have a play around with the others after then. So straight away, Johnny, I want you to set up for that target again, nothing under the gun. Let's just have a quick setup for the whole point exactly where you were just a second ago. So I want you to stand exactly the same place. Straight away, Johnny, I mean, we're looking at, obviously, whole point's quite far back.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a kill point out in front of there. Let's just move your eyes down to your feet there and have a look at your feet. So feet are a lot of things that people tend to sort of don't think about too much when they're shooting, and it makes a huge impact on the end result. Straight away, obviously, you're a right-handed shooter. Left foot's quite far round, facing almost actually where we're picking the target up. Okay. Now, right to left, we can argue, is our right way to swing as a right-hander. It's very easy. As we're coming through the shot there, actually, I'm now become at a limit, and I can't get where I want to get.
You're not going to be as smooth coming past that point.
Correct.
There.
So 2 things happen. 1, you either try and shoot it later where you actually want to shoot it, and you roll to get there. Or 2, you do exactly what you did and shoot it really early. Yeah, because you can't get anywhere else. And that's where you feel, where you said, oh, I didn't feel that sort of nice, but I got there and it sort of worked. a lot of it's the reasoning there, because you can't actually get to where you want to kill it.
Yeah.
So,
So by the time I'm extending that way, it feels uncomfortable because I'm at the end of my possibilities.
because your shoulders aren't square to your kill point.
Yeah.
Your shoulders are square to where you pick the target up.
Okay.
Okay. So if we look at it again, so again, think of pickup point, hold point, etc.
Yeah. Bang.
So there, a
Yeah.
lot more consistent line, a lot more repeatable, I feel, as a kill point. Okay.
Okay.
Easiest way to do that is just moving that left foot round to open the body up. Let's open the shoulders up so they're square to the kill point, and
Okay.
then we can turn back. That way, we're not relying on our shoulders, we're also using our core a lot more as well. So we're not relying on getting places
And your
with our
shoulders are fixed, right?
100%.
Without them dropping, pushing the gun wider, rolling your face.
So we've started here, okay?
Yep.
And all we're going to do is we're going to open that left foot round so we're sort of facing our kill point here, and then we're going to use more of the core here to turn, okay?
Okay. Just shoot this swing through, yeah?
Yeah, same thing.
Same
so
thing.
Move the whole point out fractionally, because obviously whole point becomes relevant to kill point, yeah? So we've got
Yep.
kill point here, move the whole point out. Let's just ensure that crossing target has beaten the gun before we make the move.
Naturally, I shoot a little bit squarer anyway, so it's
Yeah,
gonna put us about there for
like
the
I say,
kill, right?
and but you say naturally I shoot a lot more squarer. There's your downfall,
Okay.
potentially. More so than you think. So I'd actually bring the left foot around a little bit more, Johnny.
All right.
There you go, and now turn back through your core. And watching from here, it looks 10 times smoother and 10
yeah.
times more controlled.
It felt like it was in the bank.
And that's just literally that 2 seconds of planning before you come in.
Yeah, and because I can now see it a little longer, I think when I first walked in, I was like, yeah, nice straight line, nice
Yeah.
easy kill. Now you realise you can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
You said point your feet that way, kill it there. Gives you me the confidence to kill it there rather than
100%.
there.
And it goes back to that repeatable thing of actually now I can kill it 4 or 5 times in a row. And actually, I probably wouldn't take a bet on you now saying, you know, when we started, if you said, oh, I bet you 20 quid I can kill 10 in a row, I said, yeah, let's go for it. Because I don't think you would have done. Now I would be less likely to take that bet on. You know, that looks smooth as anything because you can get to where you want to get to.
Interestingly, I shot maintained lead for years and years and years, and it took me a long time to work back to swing through. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly I can revert.
And that's the problem with maintain lead. You shot the first one lovely.
Yep.
Second one, everything you feel is right. Same sort of gap, gun speed slowed down massively and you've missed. And that's where, if your timing is absolutely spot on, yeah, it's a piece of cake. But it's so easy for the timing to be off. And I'm not saying maintain lead's not going to work and it's, you know, nobody should shoot it. Of course it works. We
Yeah,
know
on
it's
big
proven.
targets,
Yeah,
I find it vastly preferable,
it's
right?
proven. But at the end of the day, we're trying to find a technique and a system that works, but you become more consistent and progress.
And kill 10 out of 10 every time.
Because that's how we build a score, right? And watching you shoot both of those, that's the obvious place.
Okay. Do you find hold point changes between all these things?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to, because you see there, actually, the two you just shot when you stayed out in front of, you shot a lot earlier. Mm-hmm. But that's because you've seen the gap already.
Yeah, you've already established where you're going to shoot it before you've pulled
and
the
I
trigger.
would say you've actually not tried to kill it in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be partly because of hold points. You actually want to hold out even further when you're trying to stay out in front of stuff, depending on where you want to kill it. Because obviously we want to kill it here, but if our hold point's back here like it was when we come from behind it, then we're already at a gap. And actually once we've got the gap, our brain says, well, let's pull the trigger.
Let's move back. Let's make this into something a bit more complicated.
And what we want to look at here is we're going to go back, let's go back sort of 20 yards, turn this in sort of a 45, 50 yard cross, so a good crossing target. But I want to shoot the same way to point out that what we're doing will still work even at that distance.
Yeah, because your fundamentals should be the same
Correct.
regardless. Do you see gaps? I'm very barrel aware. I will see the gap. Even on a swing through, I'll see a gap progress. I'll see that move happen. I'll see the gap open up.
Yeah, I think if anyone says they don't see a gap, I think they're lying. Subconsciously, you'll see something. Your brain is seeing something before you pull the trigger.
It's all part of that timing, right?
100%. I mean, I'm not saying I'm coming into the stand and being aware of saying, right, I've got to see 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot lead, whatever it is, because it doesn't exist, right? You know, if I said to you, right, Johnny, let's put a 4 foot gap on that target, well, your 4 foot might be this big, my 4 foot might be this big.
What I find though in that case is that a couple of the guys I shoot with regular, we can speak like that. We shoot in similar ways. We understand how each other shoot. We'll say like, you'll see that as X. I'll see that as X. And you can use that as an understanding of where to start.
100%. I think at a level, depending on what level we're talking about, you know, if you're at a club level or whatever, and you understand, whoever you're shooting with understands what you're seeing, and you're on a sort of same sort of wavelength, then yeah, that's fine. The more you start talking about those distances and those figures, the more you're going to start to look at the gun, watch the gun and try and measure. That's when your swing through and stuff is less likely to happen organically and just trusting your eyes, and you're likely to start checking gaps and measuring and all that sort of stuff. So the less we can talk about figures a lead out there and think about it as a figure a lead, the better.
Okay,
so it's just, you know, we've got an understanding of, yes, the target's 50 yards away and it's motoring from right to left and covering a big distance. Right, we know we want to see a good gap. Let's just let the eyes and let the hand do the work together.
When you're starting out, I'm guessing it's handy for someone to have a relative idea of how much gap, right? Because just swinging and timing is not going to happen to start.
No, but I think if you start off correct, you know, how we're going to start shooting most of all, like we'll shoot simple crossing targets, for example.
Go on the skeet range.
Yeah, and a lot of it's gun speed. You know, generically when most people are starting out, their gun speed's a lot slower than someone who's shot quite a lot, because everything's a little bit more lethargic, so you can just a bit steadier. As we shoot more and more, we get more confident. With the confidence, the gun speed increases, and then actually the timing becomes really good. So to start off with, you know, if someone's moving the gun really slow, well, physics will say they're going to see massive gaps on targets, right?
What's real interesting about the shot cam is the amount of times that I've been like, yeah, I gave that 15-foot Pro 1 last year, that big target. Yeah, I gave that 30-foot. It's not, it's 12. But the way I see it and the way it is different, right? Yeah. It perceivedly changes according to gun speed. And what I find interesting about the shot cam, it can't lie, and that's where it comes in real handy.
And this is where we go back to the technique side of stuff, shooting this crosser. Once we start to bring the gun out in front, gun speed changes massively, so therefore perceived lead changes massively. Right, so we start staying out in front 9 times out of 10. If we're staying out in front, we're going to see much bigger gaps because the gun's hardly moving or moving a lot less than it will be if we're coming from behind.
And then diminishing lead, it's going to look twice as much as with swing through.
And then you get really confusing and it goes over my head. Let's keep it simple. Let's just shoot some swing through. So Johnny, we do the same target again. So again, nothing's changed other than we've moved, what, 15, 20 yards further back. So same crossing target. I want you to this become more of your sort of natural thought process when you come into a station. So I want you to look at kill point. Okay, so you've got your pickup point where you first see the target. Pick your kill point and we'll set a hold point from there. But I want that left foot, we're in a right to left scenario here, I want that left foot to be open to the kill point and then turning back to the core so we can keep the shoulders nice and square and make sure we can get to where we want to get to comfortably. Same crossing target. So kill point's probably in a similar place?
Yeah, we've dropped a little bit so you can see the development of the target. It looks a different target, even though it's not, we know it's not.
Yeah.
Kill point, same place, maybe a touch earlier because you can see the roll off a little bit better from here.
Obviously we want to, we want to kill it while it's still under a bit of power. Yeah, we've got to be careful we don't come back too early and then we sort of make that move, which isn't what we want to do, and we end up out in front of it to start off with, and with timing goes. So let's see the target develop. Okay, simple crossing target, see the target develop, have the hold point far enough out, and we've got to be disciplined, and this is where a lot of people come wrong with swing through, especially on crossing targets, is they see the bird, the hold point's too far back, we see the bird and make a move. We think we've swung through the target, we haven't. We've made the move and we've probably brought the gun out.
Probably never let touch your gun.
Exactly, so have the hold point out, and you as a shooter are going to be very disciplined to see the bird beat the gun, then insert the gun to the back and off we go. Okay, so left foot round, Johnny, so you're facing your kill point. Let's keep the shoulders nice and square.
Do you think I could get away with holding that gun earlier? I feel like I could make a move earlier. This feels now a bit too slow.
I think that it's feeling too slow because you've not shot like this necessarily. So we're just playing around with hold points and things. So let's keep the hold point out. Just don't start to mount the gun until the clays come past. So let's be really disciplined on seeing the clay come past.
I can speed up my move in the same bracket.
Then you've got the gun speed. The gun speed's the important part, okay? Nice.
That felt better.
It's lying more than anything. You know, if we look at the target again, and even coming back 20 yards, we'll see actually, right, where we pick it up, actually where I kill that is still pretty much climbing.
Yep.
What's different when we were stood up there is it kind of looked like it died off of there, which it does. Yeah. Right, but actually down here we can see the target is still climbing right the way up through our kill point. Okay, so we've got to read into that a little bit before we come into the station, so we've got an idea of where the bird is, where you want to kill it. And again,
for me, that slightly slower swing through gives me a very different picture I'm looking for. Hence I shorted it 2 times, offline, but I find it a little bit harder to open up the gap because of the speed of the gun. Yeah. It's a very different style of shooting.
Yeah, it is, 100%. And I think
feels more controlled, but it's going to take a little relearning from sight pictures.
It'll just get used to it and get used to that timing. Once you trust yourself and make it happen, you'll be away.
There we go. Right. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I'm going to kill the video here, but I'm going to stay here and try and nail this.
Let's shoot some more.